Hello guys, I'll be showing us how to make your interior renders with Vray for Revit quick and easily. So here's the work we are going to be using for this tutorial. So if you are familiar with my Vray for Revit tutorials, you should already be familiar with the tools and how to use them. So first thing you do is make sure you have set your 3D view. Select it from here. If you are going to render 3D view 1, you select it from here. So once you have done that, you move on to the settings, and we'll just use the settings the way I use it. This will be on CPU, that will be on progressive, and this will be on irradiance map. Then your ambient occlusion, set it to 1, then the eye depth, set it to 10, then turn on your denoiser. Then you can close this. So the next thing you do, you just render this scene to see what we have. So render production, so we can see what we have on ground before we can start adding anything to the scene. Okay, so we have a very dark scene. Okay. So basically, this is our scene. So I'm going to stop it here, since we have an idea of what our scene is like. So what we'll do next is to set the environment lights. Then after that, we set the materials and textures. So we'll move on to the Vray sun. So on the Vray sun, you see the sun size. So the higher the sun size, the softer the shadows of the sun will be. So we are going to increase this value to, let's say, 10. So the shadows become softer. Then the sun filter, you can set that to white. Then you come to the background. We'll use a custom background, so we can use and this the default HDR image, or we just select ours. I want to select an HDR image. Then set the brightness to, let's say, 60. So you can preview the HDR image, so you can position it to wherever you want. So I'll position it to where the sun is at. Here's the sun here, so I'll position it there. Leave it on spherical. Then you can close this. Then you move on to exposure. Set the white balance to the end, the right end. Then the exposure, you can set it to, the lower the exposure, the brighter the scene. So the higher the exposure, the darker the scene. So we are going to set it on maybe night full moon to about, let's say, -3, because that's the kind of settings I use. can close this. Then you move on to his on draft. I will test what we have. Okay, so the scene is looking good, so we stop this. Next thing we do is, because as you can see from here, the curtain is blocking the direct sunlight, so basically we should know that we have to set the materials and make everything transparent enough for the lights to pass through. So before we do that, you go to rendering settings, then the sun settings. You adjust the sun. You can set this to 45 degrees and set this to sunlight from top right. Then you click apply, click on OK. Then what we do, you go to your appearance manager, you change all materials starting from the wall. So I have the orange wall. Right click and go to your Vray materials. Then wall paint. You can just select anyone, we'll change it later. Then the wall white, same thing. That's for the wall. Then for the flooring, and change this to so you can leave that. Look for the next thing, the cutting. This I use fabric. Okay, so I've changed the curtain, the two curtain. You have two different types here, so I've changed it for the two here. So you look for any other materials in your scene that needs to be changed. Okay, let me check for this. So the RBW materials. Okay, so you look for RBW. So you can see the RBW glass. We'll make that an emissive material. Like this. RBW steel. Go to metal. Okay. Can just leave that for now. Then let's check for this. We have the BLKS printed leather rug. Mottled texture. BLKS. BLKS printed. Or we can just leave that the way it is and add a little for. Of about 10 mm. You can close that. Look for any other okay. For the glass door. Okay, we have aluminum and we have glass. So you can use this glass window. I use that. Then for aluminum, metal, we have two aluminum, so we can change all the aluminum straight away from here. Okay, that's about that. So I think I'll just leave this the way it is. We don't need to change that. So what we'll do next is show only mapped. We are okay with this. You can check for this. So we'll adjust anyone that needs to be adjusted. white. And the orange wall. So for this, I think you can just use the RGB value to get a definite color value. So this will be 255 153 and 51. Okay. So you can increase the size of this if it's needed. So we'll close this. And check what we have. So I'm going to stop this. Okay, so three things now. One, there's a light reflecting on the wall there, so I have to rotate this to the angle that will face us. Then two, I'm going to increase the 4 of this a bit. Then 3, I think we need more windows on the other side. Then we'll still have to check this floor, still check this, and then finally we'll add our neon light here. So first things first, get this. think that's good. So the next thing, we add 4 to this. So we'll go to appearance, so make this 25. Then that's nice. Then we activate the rope light. Same thing, appearance again. Then I name the material neon. Right click. Then emissive material. I'm going to use this. Okay. Then just add a bit of a little window on the side. I'm going to go to window. Just add some little windows so the room doesn't just look too dark with having source of natural light from just this angle. Okay, I think that's okay now. So next thing, reduce this brightness a bit. Let's say 20. So we have to check to see what's wrong with the flooring. Okay. So what we'll do here is mapped. Check this. So let's reduce it to like 2.5. Then increase the bump. Okay. So I think all is good now. You can just check to see what we have if we are ready for the final render. So it seems we're having a lot of sunburn here. So once we're facing this kind of issue, just simply activate the exposure and increase this. Okay. So I've reduced the exposure. I've used that, so I can just start for the final render now. So at the same time, you can also use I'll stop this. You can also use the dome light. If you are not using the sun, you can use the dome light. So you make use of the HDRI sky. So if you are doing that, the intensity has to be very high. If you are doing for daylight rendering, and if you want to do your night renders, it has to be lower, as low as 10, as low as 0 for night renders, but for daytime renders, go up as high as possible. that's all set. So you can check to see what you have. Wow, there's a lot of sunburn, so that shows that different settings for the sun and dome light, they both have different settings. So we just kind of let's increase it to white interior, and reduce this to 200, and so let me pause it and resume when it's done. Okay, so here's the ending outcome. So here's what we have, and so what we'll do now is so I'm just going to just change the few things, change the few things here. Like this. Okay, like this one. Okay. Okay. The scene is already looking nice. It's already looking nice. So it depends if you are good to go, no problem. And if you still want to work on it some more, if it's your personal project, you can take your time and work on it some more. So I'm just showing you how it works and how you can just adjust your settings to your taste. So I'm just going to run this quickly before I show you how to make it a night scene. So I'll resume back the video. I'll resume when the render is done. Okay, here's the outcome. Here's what we have. Okay, so I'm going to stop this here. I'll show us the final render later when it's done. So I'll save this. Okay, so when you want to achieve your night render, all you have to do is scroll to your dome light change this to 10, the intensity to 10. Then you activate a night HDRI sky. So I have this number 10, these people non-commercial number 10. Change it for this and also change it for this. Okay. So as you can see, it's actually nice. So you can move the slider. So once that's done, you can check to see if you don't need to adjust the exposure. You click on render. Okay. You can stop this for now. Go to rendering settings. You check the sun settings and change it to single day. So from here you can okay, let's use 2 day. So you can set it to 11:50 p.m. or 11 p.m. Then okay, so you have adjusted the night time. You can click on render. You can see the single tag, so you can go to your exposure. Then can take this to bright interior. Okay, we're already on bright interior. Then check your end out. I'm going to stop this again because this is supposed to have changed. So what we'll do is change this to none, change that to none, and change this to 0. So check that again. We have to cut this out and check it. Okay, so I think we're getting there now. Okay, I'm going to change it to sun. Change it to sun. Then set this to so let's check this out now. Okay, so I'm going to set this to 150 and exposure should be okay. and check this and see what we have. So I'll pause this and continue once it's done. Okay, so here's how you change to your nighttime render. So you can I'm going to stop this. You can adjust the exposure and the white balance to your taste, to whatever way you wish to achieve. Just play with your settings and work on it more, so you get to understand how it works. So now I'm going to end this tutorial here. So you can just practice on your own and let me know whatever you get. You can reply, you can drop a comment. So let me know how you feel about this. Okay, so thank you very much.